Hey, what if New York City got nuked?
This place got a new face, killing Joe's face. Got a Joe thing, chilling in a new phase. Blue space in a new place, what did he say? He done tic-tac, feeling like a true play. Step back and I never say no. I was winning over there, now I'm running out of flow. Got a feeling in the air, but I'm feeling kinda low. Got a ceiling over here, and I think it's gonna blow. Hey, this place got a new face, killing Joe's face.
Ah, yes. In case you did not know, it's time for another show. I'm Aquarian OG, and you should get to know me, cause I want to know what you watching. Hey, this one right here is kind of one of them side thoughts that you have when you be just daydreaming or sitting there and your mind be floating into whatever thought you might have randomly. What would happen if New York gets nuked tomorrow? Yo, you know what? I thought about this a few times. I know what I would do if I heard that a nuke was coming to where I was at. I would take my ass and stand outside and take this L. I'm not trying to survive in no radiation. Fool, I got asthma. This takes albuterol. I'm albuterol fueled. I'm gonna go outside and take this L. Get this over with quick. Alright. If you haven't liked and subscribed, we got a nice growth going on. We can kick that momentum up. Make sure this other mic is off so I ain't echoing. Who is this video by? What is this? This is Riddle. Okay. It's been a minute, Riddle. So if y'all haven't checked out Riddle, go check them out. They got a nice selection of stuff going on over there. Let's get ready to get going. If you haven't liked and subscribed, please do so to the channel. Hit us up with a comment, maybe one of them things. Or just chill. Either or. But in the meantime and in between time, let's get this show on the road. Let's go.
Little about the consequences of nuclear explosions, and our main study subjects are the tragedies that happened in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in 1945. Back then, two powerful bombs claimed more than 200,000 lives, and these are only the people who died in the first 6 months after the disasters. But
6 months of living in radiation? Oh, hell no.
Can the knowledge humanity's acquired over recent years help residents of big cities avoid such?
That's both beautiful and equally deadly. Those clouds always had like, that's craziness.
Recent years help residents of big cities avoid such repercussions. Let's take New York, one of the biggest and fast-growing places on Earth, as an example and find out what will be left of a human after a nuclear explosion. What
ain't nothing gonna be left of me.
Buildings may become a threat to the civilian population, and whether the most progressive cities like New York can resist nuclear attacks. This video has been made for educational purposes only.
That would be number one, with the glass and all that stuff flying around. Like they had a special that they did, like if a tornado hit Dallas, all the glass that would blow around. Man, a nuke.
We need to figure out if a bomb blast with a force equal to 15 tons of TNT, and that's precisely how much of it was hidden in Little Boy, the nuke dropped on Hiroshima, will be just as devastating for New York. To do this, we should reconstruct the events. On August 6th, several warplanes took to the sky above the peaceful Japanese town.
Peaceful Japanese town? Come on now, y'all. I was trying not to be political today.
Should note, however, that apart from Colonel Paul Tibbets, the crew had no idea what kind of bomb they were carrying. At 8:14 a.m. local time, there was a loud explosion over Hiroshima. In the first nanosecond, a ball of fire occurred at ground zero and grew to 100 feet in diameter. Its temperature reached 300,000 degrees Celsius. Heated air above the ground started to glow. The aircraft crew that hastily left the area later recalled that everything around them sparked with blue, and that they had a strange metallic taste in their mouths. 80,000 people died instantly. They were literally wiped off the face of the planet.
Damn. Well, that's how I'm going out. I'm not even fighting it. I'm not hiding. A bomb? I ain't trying to run from no bomb. Not that one. Maybe some of them little bang bang bombs that were considered next to this. Everything is a little bang bang. But yeah, I'm out this piece. I'm out of here. Y'all nuclear coming down and dropping. Where you running to?
But I'll come back to that a bit later. So if a bomb of this sort strikes, for example, modern-day New York,
look at all
will
that.
the repercussions be just as terrifying? Unfortunately, most likely, they'll be even worse. Since Japan is an island state, which means that the blast wave couldn't spread farther across the mainland. What's more, frequent earthquakes made adjustments to Japanese lives, which actually helped them. Many buildings in Hiroshima were made of rice paper and light materials, so people were not buried alive under heavy concrete slabs. Meanwhile, the architectural wonders of New York may play a nasty trick on it. So what will happen to New York buildings if somebody suddenly drops an atomic bomb on them? If a bomb with the explosive force of 15 kilotons of TNT hits Times Square...
A kiloton? I never thought of a kiloton.
Within the first nanoseconds, it'll produce a massive ball of fire, and its temperature will be several hundred times greater than that of the sun. The flash of light will blind everyone within 20 kilometers, right up to Queens and the village of Newark. It'll take just 4 seconds after the explosion to turn Rockefeller Center into a horrible mess of concrete, steel, and poor victims that chose the worst possible time to go out. Famous New York skyscrapers alone will become a separate deadly weapon. The blast wave will burst all the glass surfaces into millions of shards. They'll move at a tremendous speed, keep
be heated,
and dig into everything they meet on the way. The shockwave will cover a territory of almost 70 square kilometers. It'll break windows in all buildings up to the American Museum of Natural History, and it won't avoid the Statue of Liberty in the process. The chances to survive will be substantially lower given the breakdown of mobile phones and computers. An electromagnetic pulse triggered by the nuclear explosion will simply disable all gadgets. But this damage will be the least of it. The worst impact will be caused by one thing we can't even see: radiation. But how exactly is it going to affect people? The tragedy of Hiroshima has shown humankind one of the most frightful phenomena.
Oh, hell no. See, I'll just stand right there. I'm like, let me get this over with.
These living monuments are the only remains of the people who happened to be near the center of the blast. In the first seconds after a bomb detonated.
Holy. Where you running to? That's crazy, yo. Look at that. I would be one of the first blind from standing there going, holy, I'd be straight tourist. You know, when you go to when you go to this new city and all the tourists is like this. Man, yeah. Johnny Cash right here, and it burns, burns, burns like a ring of fire, like a ring of fire. Yeah. I'd be out of here. I ain't even gonna try and run from that. That's not, nah.
detonates. The amount of released energy is so huge that it needs only an instant to vaporize a human body and leave no more than a...
Look at that. That's crazy, yo. All you are is a shadow. You a straight shadow. You burn beyond being burned when the only thing that's left of you is your shadow. That's fuck that, dude. Do you got soul scars off of that? That's crazy, yo. What if the people that have burn wounds today, you know, like significant burn wounds, survivors of like house fires and stuff, what if they in their past life were these people reliving an experience? Wouldn't that be wild? Why did that pop into my head? Me and the wife was talking. All right.
Residue permanently scorched into the asphalt or concrete. Silhouettes like this can still...
Damn, yo. That's crazy.
be found on the streets of Hiroshima. And even such a death isn't the most agonizing.
Ain't the most agonizing. I know, because you will flash it, you out of there. That's flash cubing.
Person disappears faster than they can feel any pain. The scariest fate awaits those who will be from 3 to 6 kilometers away from ground zero. That's because the greatest danger of a nuclear weapon isn't devastating destruction, but radiation sickness that strikes every
I'm not trying to.
Within 1 hour after the detonation, the radioactive plume will blanket a territory of 50 square kilometers. People will be urged to leave the area within 75 kilometers from the center of the explosion for several years. If an atomic bomb suddenly goes off above central New York, 250,000 people will die immediately. But around 300,000 more will suffer from radiation sickness in the next few months. But let's not forget that the tragedy of Hiroshima happened almost 80 years ago. So maybe now people possess knowledge that can help reduce the impact of a nuclear explosion. The American Interagency Modeling and Atmospheric Assessments.
What is FEMA going to do against a nuclear bomb? FEMA can barely get through a damn hurricane. And they messed that up too. Come on, we're going to trust in FEMA. I'm not trying to. I am and I ain't. I ain't got no trust in no FEMA. Come on now. They got, matter of fact, I just looked at the background. They got nerve to have a hurricane behind it.
Center develops plans of salvation for various emergencies, including a nuclear attack.
Better off
if a
on your own.
disaster happens, the organization will promptly start tracking the radioactive plume and send all their forecasts to federal authorities. Then these data will be used to initiate the emergency evacuation. In many big cities, especially those situated in seismic zones, there are pre-designed evacuation plans and underground fallout and bomb shelters. Although out of 18,000 bunkers once built in New York, more than half of them currently function as bars and restaurants. So these places will be kind of useless. Sadly enough, after the bomb explodes, most citizens won't be able to protect themselves anyhow. You'll have to be really lucky to survive close to ground zero. For instance, Eizo Nomura was just several meters away from the place where the bomb hit, and the
Damn. How do you Wow, he was several meters from where it hit and lived to tell about it? Yo, King Kong ain't got nothing on him.
Tragedy of Hiroshima began. He stayed alive because he decided to go down to the basement to grab some important documents. It seems that over the last decades, many countries have succeeded in creating this new era weapon, but not ways to escape it. This is perplexing, as simple logic suggests that if you can shoot, then you might as well be shot. I've used New York City as an example to show you what can happen to a modern city if an atomic bomb with a force of 15
Why would they want to be
tons of
standing there?
TNT is deployed over it. But arsenals of some large countries include nuclear rockets whose explosive force equals 300 kilotons of TNT, and that's 20 times more powerful than Little Boy dropped on Hiroshima. I hope we never have to learn what happens after this kind of explosion.
I ain't trying to. Yo, that's crazy. What is this? Hiding something underground. I gotta check that out. Yo. Oh, I know. Hey. I'm getting this over with quickly if it ever happened to somewhere I'm gonna be at. I'm like, yeah, nuke bomb? Ah, damn. I wasn't even planning on going outside today. Alright, well. Been real. I see you in a few on the other side. Nope. I ain't trying to get all that radiation sickness. That look like the bubonic plague. A fast, slow, painful death. Yeah, fast and slow, painful. So painful that it ain't going fast enough, so it seems slow. Fast, slow, painful death. No. Alright. I'm gonna get you out of here. If you haven't liked or subscribed, hit it up. Hit that button. I'm Aquarian OG, and I am OUT. I got a dip. Deuces on the flip. Let's go.
Cheese best.